Hello! Welcome! This is episode 146 of Lovecraft's Quarantiki.
Oh my gosh.
146, yeah. We couldn't believe it either, but that's what the numbers tell us, is it's 146 episodes. Eventually, we're just going to stop talking about how many episodes it's been. But hey, we actually had a cold snap for once in the DC metro area. It almost seemed like winter, briefly. And then the groundhog showed his face and said, we will have, 6 more weeks of whatever passes for winter, whatever passes for winter around here. So, and then apparently we're just going to go straight into summer, I think is what's going to happen. So today we're going to do a tribute to Groundhog Day, or as I put it, Groundhog Daiquiri Day. So we are going to be making daiquiris today. We're going to make one, and then we're going to make one, and then we're going to make one, and then we're going to make one, etc., etc., etc. for all you King and I fans. But first, a toast.
Toast!
Toast. What should we toast to, dear wife?
Yosa's birthday.
That's right, it is Yosa's birthday today. I think it's also Jeff Gitchell's birthday today.
It is.
It is. They are birthday twinsies. So I have some rum here for you, if you would like it.
I am on my way there.
And I have some rum here for me. And what are we drinking tonight? We are drinking the Havana Club, the Cuban Havana Club, El Ron de Cuba. That says Cuban rum, or rum of Cuba. That's the official Havana Club produced by Cuba. And this is the 7-year expression, so 7 years old, as opposed to the 3-year, which you saw us using earlier in the week.
Yes.
Yep. Would you like a kiss? On-screen kiss. Mwah.
Ooh,
ow!
shocking.
Ooh, shocking! Wow.
I have a new hat.
Oh, that's right, because you're walking.
I have fuzzy socks.
She has fuzzy socks walking on carpet.
I do.
Even though I'm standing on a plastic mat.
Right.
Zot. Okay.
I have a new hat.
You do.
I do.
That looks remarkably like Chris's hat.
It is. It is Christine's hat.
So several weeks ago, we attended Chris's memorial service, and Chris was known for wearing hats, like other people around here are known for doing. And so Star ended up with one of Christine's hats. Yep. So we will memorialize Chris whenever one of us wears that hat.
Yeah, because it looks good on Pooch too. So.
Of course it does. It's a hat, right? Yeah. Okay. We have not yet attempted fezzes on me. We don't know whether or not a fez works. Fez is like the official headgear
of Tikidom.
And whenever people are wearing fezzes, I tend to wear my big black top hat with the big
Mai Tai
Till I Die moniker on it from Not Horror and Clay from Black Lagoon Room. Yep. But we're going to drink this now because we're now like 4 minutes in and haven't had any rum. Right, so here you go.
Happy birthday, Yosa.
Happy birthday, Yosa. Happy birthday, Jeff. And happy day to their partners. Yep.
Yes. Yum.
That is quite nice. That is quite nice. There's
complexity.
There's complexity, but it's not one of those deep, sensual sipping rums where there's like massive amounts of character to it. There's definitely barrel. You can taste the oak in this, but it's a nice oak. It's not that heavy tannicky oak that you sometimes get. This, there's a little bit of that drying on the tongue that tells you tannin, but definitely the vanilla notes on this come through. But there's some toasted notes. I was almost going to describe this as smoky, but that's not it. There's some toasting in here of some sort.
Yes.
It does have that almost prototypical Cuban Puerto Rican gas petrol kind of note to it. I know, it sounds off-putting, but it's what it makes me think of when I stick my nose in here. That is super smooth. I think it's coming in at 40% candle there. Look, we have this candle in a floaty lamp thing. Yeah, see, isn't that cool? Yep. I can't honestly say it's a new addition. It's been here a while, but here we go. That looks nice. I'll just set it right there. There you go. All right, so what are we doing for daiquiris? And why are we doing daiquiris for tiki drinks? So, daiquiris, while not a tiki drink per se, are pretty much the proto tiki drink. Like, so much of what we do in tiki canon is based upon the mixture
Rum, lime.
rum, a sour, usually lime, and some form of sweetener,
Yeah.
right? In balanced in proportion, usually with one piece of that tweaked up a little bit so that the drink is distinctive in some way. It's tart or it's sour or without that note just predominating. Tiki drinks are very different drinks from something like an old-fashioned, which an old-fashioned is a conveyor system for that spirit. Now they're really yummy, but they are essentially just ice, a little sugar to soften the alcohol, and the alcohol. I mean, that's essentially what an old-fashioned is, with some bitters usually added in to just pink it up a little bit. But that's not what a daiquiri is. So generally a daiquiri is going to start with 2 ounces of your favorite rum. And then the proportions of sour and sweet are sort of up to you. I like to go with just a balanced 3/4 ounce, 3/4 ounce for those 2 components, and just keep it at that, at least as a starting spot, until you know the rum that you're working with, and in this case, until you know something about the sour component that you're working with. So the first thing that we are going to do for a daiquiri this evening is first we're going to grab one of these, not 2 of them, we're going to grab one of them. There we go. And then one of these. And then we are going to take this lime juice right here. This says lime on it. And I don't know if you can tell, but this lime juice has separated. All right, there's sediment on the bottom and there's liquid on the top. And this lime juice is, in fact, the leftover fresh squeezed lime juice from last week.
Oh.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and shake it up and reincorporate.
So we have a hello from Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth.
We have a top of the evening from
Top of the evening to ya.
Mr. Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
We have a hello from Colleen.
Hello, Colleen.
We have a howdy from Keith.
How is Colleen doing? So there was COVID drama, right? Something along those lines. We're going to go with 3/4 of an ounce, by the way. Here.
We have a high pooch star and feline overlords from Mr. Greg.
Hello, Greg.
And Matt wanted to know if we did a drive-through daiquiri store while we were in
No.
Because we weren't ever driving.
Right, we weren't driving, so there was no point in doing that. So you wake up this morning and you say, I want a daiquiri.
Colleen still has COVID.
So 3/4 of an ounce of your sour component, 3/4 of an ounce of your sweet component, here in this case is simple syrup, and then 2 ounces of rum. Now we are going to keep things as consistent as possible. Because, right, with Groundhog Day, it's all about repeating the exact same thing over and over and over again, right? But making like one change to get you slightly further down the line of whatever fate has in store for you. So for all of our cocktails this evening, we are going to be using Probitas as our white rum. Now, Probitas is a white blended rum. It is a blend of Barbados rum and Jamaican rum. We quite like this. This is what we make the house daiquiri with, is Probitas. It also clocks in at 47% alcohol, which is just, it's a little higher than what we were just drinking with the Havana Club. I really like using blended rums for my daiquiris if what I'm doing is just drinking a daiquiri. And the reason for that is I like the extra complexity that it brings to my daiquiri. The daiquiri is also a fantastic drink, though, for showing off a particular rum. And in those cases where I'm showing off a particular funky or bizarre rum, I will use that particular rum and not use a blended rum for that. So if you wanted to do, say, here's the difference between Barbados rums and Jamaican rums, obviously you'd want to do a daiquiri, one with Barbados rum and one with a Jamaican rum. In this case, though, we are using the blend. Probitos is also, outside of the United States, Probitos is known as Veritas. So if you are outside the United States and watching this and you want this particular rum, Veritas is where it's at. Okay, that's it. That's all that goes into our delightful little daiquiri, aside from a scoop of ice. And we're going to try and make these ice scoops about the same. This is about a single scoop, and it is a combination of pebble ice and cubed ice. So that just goes right in there. I'm going to close that up, lid it up, shake it, and then double strain. You know, while I'm doing that, let's do this. Let's take that glass. We're going to chill it just a tad. And if I'd kept my pebble ice separate, I could just do this with pebble ice, and it would chill a little better. But I didn't. It's all in one spot. Okay, so that's the glass we're going to use. Sorry, back to shaking.
So,
here we go. What? Is there a question?
No.
Shake, shake. There you go. There's a nice little shake. Drop that in there. That goes here. Here's our ice. We're going to take this ice. We're going to drop it into our next glass. Right there. We're going to grab a strainer. And we're going to grab a Hawthorne strainer. That goes there. This goes here. And ta-da! We have a daiquiri. Usually serve the daiquiris in coupes. Decided not to. No reason you have to. It would seem a little weird to do it in like a tall glass, but you know, you could, certainly. It would just be a little lost in it. And here we have a daiquiri. This is made with week-old lime juice. Not W-E-A-K-O-L-E,
Right.
no, week, as in it's been in the fridge for a week. It's a fine daiquiri. It's okay. I wouldn't be offended being served that as a daiquiri.
No, but I can definitely tell that there's something.
It's overly sweet.
Yeah.
And the lime is a little weird.
I'm gonna put that there so we can.
Yeah, I'm going to actually set
Compare
that.
them?
I'm going to put that right there. Yep, right.
Okay.
Well, as long as you're here, you want to rinse that out for me?
Of course.
Ta-da! So there we have one daiquiri made with lime juice, but a week-old lime juice. This bottle, which has not separated, I'm going to shake it anyway. That bottle, I know it says lemon on it, but it's not lemon. I just squeezed this. This is fresh squeezed lime juice. Like minutes ago, lime juice squeezed. Right? And so we're going to taste test that against this. So, whoop, and we are back at our beginning. And usually a daiquiri is composed of 2 ounces of your favorite rum and some form of balanced amount of your sweet and your sour components, in this case, lime juice and simple syrup. And I usually like to start with 3/4 of an ounce of each and then balance it out as I would like after tasting, right? So how are we going to start this? Well, we're going to start this with 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice.
So I do have the comments.
She does have the comments. Uh-oh.
So,
How can we have comments when this is the first time we've done this? Yes. 3/4 of an ounce, simple syrup.
Colleen was on the upswing. She emptied the dishwasher, did laundry, and then lay back down.
Yeah, this COVID is so weird.
She has spent most of the past week asleep.
Yep.
I think the thing we found weirdest was the brain fog.
What I found weird was waking up each day and going, I wonder what symptoms I'm going to have today. Because that happened to me. It was like, oh, today I'm sneezy with a sore throat, and tomorrow I will have no sore throat, but my head will feel like it's exploding, and I will not be able to form coherent thought because my brain is all fogged. And day 3, I feel fine except that I have no energy and have to sleep through the entirety of the day, etc., etc. Repeat the roulette of symptoms, except for the brain fog, which lasted like 2 weeks after every other symptom went away. Okay, so there we go. We've got 2 ounces of rum, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, and 3/4 an ounce of simple syrup. To that, we're going to add 1 scoop of ice. I've got both a combination of, I have a combination of pebble ice and cubed ice here that I've mixed together. And we're just going to try and make sure that we get this all in about the same amount from daiquiri to daiquiri. So that looks about right. That goes in there like such. We have a glass with ice in it sitting here and chilling. So we will lid this up. Like such. And we are going to shake. And there you go. It's all shook, shaked, whatever you want to call it. Ice has been incorporated, it has been diluted, it has been chilled. So we're going to take this ice, and this ice is going into this glass. I'm going to set that glass to the side. Here we have a glass, and we are going to double strain this, and in order to double strain that, we're going to use a fine mesh strainer and a hawthorn strainer. You can all see where this is going, huh? All right. In this goes. And every last drop. Ta-da. There we go. Sit, stay. And now we have a daiquiri. This one with fresh lime juice as opposed to week-old lime juice.
That was a dumb way to do that. Sorry. Oh, that is much more balanced.
Want to compare?
Oh, I can definitely tell. I much prefer this one.
This just tastes flat now. While it was fine if you were just drinking it cold. You hadn't had anything prior to it. You didn't have
had nothing
anything
to compare it to, right?
Or if your taste memory is better than mine, you probably would go, that tastes kind of like a flat, sweet daiquiri. But after having tasted that one, there's a definite, real difference between the two. That is a much more balanced, it is crisper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a crispness to that one that this is missing, a snap to it.
Yep.
So that's, you know what I should do? I should take off my glasses because that way I can actually see what I'm doing in front of me. That would make a difference there. So now we have 2 daiquiris. We have one daiquiri that is made with week-old and week-old lime juice. And then we have a daiquiri that is made with fresh lime juice. Okay, well there you go. So what are we going to do today? We're going to make daiquiris. So daiquiris are essentially just 3 components. They are 2 ounces of rum and some proportion of sour, usually lime juice, always lime juice, and some proportion of sweet, usually a simple syrup. And what I like to do is 3/4 of an ounce of the simple syrup and 3/4 of an ounce of the lime juice, just to give me a sort of baseline, and then you can adjust that depending upon how good your simple syrup is, or how rich the rum is, or various other components of that. So this daiquiri, we are going to go with 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Wrong jigger. We'll go with this one. Do. There's 3/4 of an ounce of a simple syrup. This is actually a rich simple syrup, so my daiquiris are going to be sweeter than many others that you might run across. And for the lime juice component, we're going to reach over here and we're going to grab this jar. Now, astute viewers who were following last week when we had John Schott on will know what this is. This is super juice. This is the super lime, which is essentially a lime oleo that is adjusted with malic and citric acid, as well as the juice of a fresh lime in here. This is, well, it's not entirely shelf stable, but it is significantly longer lasting than other lime juices, than fresh squeezed lime juice. Presumably, we have not put this to the test. So here we go, 3/4 of an ounce. Super juice. Dun dun dun. And then for the rum, we're going to be keeping the rum consistent today and using Probitas. Now, Probitas is a blend of Barbados and Jamaican rum. And I love using blends for my daiquiris because they get to show off a little more complexity. Obviously, you can use a daiquiri to show off a particular rum as well, a single kind of varietal or style of rum if you wanted to. So like you could do a Barbados daiquiri and a Jamaican daiquiri, and those would be very different. The Probitas, also known as Veritas outside the United States, comes in at 47%. It is a combination of Barbados and Jamaican rums, and that adds an interesting complexity to the cocktail that I really enjoy, and that's why the Probitas is in fact the house rum for making daiquiris. So here we go, 2 ounces of Probitas. Now, in case you're wondering what Barbados rum, I can't tell you exactly what Barbados rum went in here, but I can tell you that it came from the Foursquare Distillery. I used to know what the Jamaican rum was that is in here. Hamden. It is in fact Hamden Distillery. So there you go. You want your ice to be consistent in making daiquiris, and so I'm going to go with a full scoop. And if you're making multiple daiquiris, obviously you want your ice proportions to be about the same. So there we go. There's a full scoop of ice. That goes right in there, minus the ice cube that's on the floor. And then this gets lidded up, like so. And we're going to give that a shake. Also, if you're making multiple daiquiris and you want them to remain relatively consistent in flavor profile, you should probably shake for just about the same amount of time, and I'm hoping that I am doing that this evening. I am getting a bit of a workout here. You have a chilled glass, often a coupe. Sometimes you can use others. This is not a coupe. Coupe? So there is a nice chilled glass. I'm going to add a little more ice to this glass. If I were smart, I would have kept my pebble ice and my cubed ice separate, because it would help with chilling these glasses down. Okay, we're going to double strain this, and that means using a fine mesh strainer and a Hawthorne strainer. Here we go. So already I'm noticing a difference, and that is that the wash line on this is a little higher. What that means is either I was a little more vigorous about the shaking, so we've gotten more dilution, or that the super juice in fact helps with dilution, and so we have a little more liquid in the glass. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So here is our week-old lime juice. Yeah, that just keeps getting worse. Here is our fresh lime juice.
Hey, Pooch, I got a new hat.
Did you get a new hat?
I did.
You know, Chris used to have a hat just like that.
This is Chris's hat.
It is.
Yeah.
Chris was the person whose memorial service we went to
Down in Wichita.
several weeks back. Yep.
Yeah.
And then this,
It's super juice.
which is not going in my hand, apparently. How does it compare to the lame Mark Daiquiri?
It's definitely better than the lame daiquiri.
Or the week-old daiquiri? I don't know. I haven't tasted this.
It is not as crisp,
I don't get as much.
but it is balanced.
It is balanced. I don't get as much lime from it.
Right.
I don't.
But it is still balanced, unlike...
Right. Unlike this.
Right.
Which I'm really tempted to throw this away, except that we're just going to continue on. And, also, I should point out that the daiquiri is not meant to be a sipped cocktail.
Right.
The daiquiri is meant to be quaffed. This
Yes.
thing is like 3-4 sips maybe, and the daiquiri should be gone.
Right.
This should be ice cold,
So I would put
bracingly
that
cold.
in the middle
I'm gonna put
of...
this-
I mean, not
Well, I wanna
right
keep-
now.
Right. Yeah,
but
I want to keep
for
this
ranking.
right. So there you go.
Shall I clean these for you?
I think that would be helpful. Yes.
Okay.
Because you never know when you might want to do something else with your Hawthorne strainer and your fine mesh strainer.
I'm going to do the whoop.
I should do the whoop. And all of a sudden, whoa, we're back behind the bar.
Wow!
Oh, deja vu. What am I? I've even got the same shaker sitting in front of me. Oh no, I must do something different to break me out of this. Or not. Okay, so we're going to be making daiquiris today, and a daiquiri is essentially 2 ounces of rum and then some proportion of lime and sweet component. Now, I like to use 3/4 of an ounce and 3/4 of an ounce for the sweet and the sour components. That's not traditional. A number of people will do like 3/4 of an ounce of the lime juice and only a 1/2 ounce or so of the sweet component. It depends on your taste. It depends on how you like your house daiquiri. For our house daiquiris, we use Probitas, which is called Veritas in pretty much every other place on the planet. And this is a blended rum, and I really like using blended rums for daiquiris because I think it gives them a little more complexity. Probitas comes in at 47% alcohol and is our house daiquiri rum. That doesn't mean you can't make a perfectly fine daiquiri using a single varietal rum. And if you really want to show off that rum, as opposed to just drinking it straight, a daiquiri is a great way of doing that. So you could have a Foursquare rum and a Hamden rum and make 2 separate daiquiris with that. Or you could just use a custom blend of those 2 rums, put them together, and go with that. It looks like there's a question. Is there a question?
Is the using the same shaker tin after coming off the super hot cup rinse, could that be impacting the drink in any way?
Not really. I mean,
Because you make it in the plastic.
I make it in the plastic.
So by the time you get to the point where
when I
you're
throw ice in here, yeah, the metal is not. I mean, this is not anything more than room temperature at this point. Could there be minor variations? Yes, but is this going to be a greater variation using the same one over and over again than using a different shaker setup for each one? Yeah, I think this is probably the best control that we can do for this if we were going to be How do I have 3 daiquiris already in front of me? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so how are we going to do this daiquiri? Because we've done a daiquiri with a week-old lime juice, we've done a daiquiri with fresh lime juice, and we've done a daiquiri with week-old super juice. Well, Remember when I said 3/4 of an ounce and 3/4 of an ounce, but sometimes you have to play around with that? What I have here is a lime oleo. So what I did was I took the lime husks from last week's show and I threw them in a Ziploc bag with an equal amount of white sugar by weight to those lime husks. And over this last week, I've been shaking the bag and making sure it all got mixed up. And then I strained that through a fine mesh strainer and some cheesecloth and tried to get it as clean as I could. And so what we have here is a lime oleo. So we have both sugar and lime flavor in this already. However, I have tasted this and I know that it is on the sweet side and the lime is a little less pronounced than what I want. So what I'm going to do is reach over and grab the fresh lime juice. That's this lime juice. And I'm going to go with 1/4 ounce of that. There's 1/4 ounce. And 3/4 of an ounce and 3/4 of an ounce would be 1.5 ounces. So I would go with 1.5 ounces of the lime oleo minus that 1/4 ounce. So that's 1.25 ounces, right? Should be 1.25 ounces. I've not done this before. I don't know if I'm getting the proportions of the lime juice correct or not, but you know, it's Groundhog Day. We got to change things up. Otherwise, we're going to just be stuck here making daiquiris all night long. Wait, why is that a bad thing? Yeah, the trick about any sort of Groundhog Day movie story is that at some point there has to be a moment where you realize that this isn't working out for you, and then it all zips back to the beginning, right? And the whole point is to try and break out of that cycle. But if you just keep doing stuff that you're enjoying doing, then why should it rebound? I don't know. So we're going to go 2 ounces of the Probitas. There we go. 2 ounces Probitas. Man, that puts a dent in a bottle of Probitas, doesn't it? All right, now we want to use the same amount of ice. This is a combination of pebble ice and cubed ice. And that's a lot more cubes than I've gotten on the previous ones. So let's see if I can sneak in here. There we go. That seems a little better. Yep. Okay. So that ice.
The lime oleo looks radioactive.
Oh, excellent. I like radioactive substances, or at least things that look radioactive. Prefer to keep actual radioactive substances out of my household. At least dangerously radioactive. You didn't say it was dangerously radioactive, it just looked radioactive. Shaking? There you go. And then your daiquiris are typically double strained. Look at me changing things up. I threw that ice away instead of putting it into another glass. Ooh. Maybe that will change things. Who knows? Man, I hope this is drinkable. So the nice thing about the oleo is that the oleo has a longer lifespan than even the super juice. So you can, if this works out, get away with only squeezing a small amount of lime and using the oleo to extend that to make daiquiris and other such things. But you will have to get the proportions right. I'm guessing here at the 1/4 ounce of lime juice, so we'll see. Oh wait, I'm supposed to do this way, right? All right, here is the week old. And that just keeps getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter The lime is there, but it's not a happy lime. Here's the fresh. Still bright. Much brighter than the original. Still crisper. It's beginning to dull. And again, that's because this drink is meant to be just crushed, not sit there and sipped. Super juice. What? Wait a second, I didn't do that. Hold on. There's almost no nose on that. There's almost no nose on that. There's a nose on this one. Mm-hmm. That is not present, at least to the same degree as, say, the fresh lime juice.
Hmm.
Huh. I don't know. And then we have this.
Go ahead. I'll let you taste it first.
I'll let you taste it first. Great. Okay.
No, fine. That is very sweet.
Is it too sweet?
That is way sweet.
That is way, way sweet. The lime is really present.
Yes. Because there's sweet in the oleo.
Right, because the oleo is sweet.
Right.
I wonder what would happen if I just used the oleo as the sweet component and went back to a 3/4.
Yeah?
If the lime would be brighter than that. So that glass, you can just rinse along with those. And we will demonstrate the profitability of taking your daiquiri recipe, taking a base daiquiri recipe and playing with it. In this case, we already started playing using the lime oleo. Came out way too sweet. All right. Well, then let's go the opposite direction with this. And what we will do is we will use 3/4 of an ounce of the oleo. So this is just going to be our sweet component. Do that and that. 3/4 of an ounce of the oleo. Right there. That can go in here. And then let's use 3/4 of an ounce of our lime juice, fresh squeezed. I think we can agree we want the fresh squeezed, right?
Oh, you're using lime juice and oleo, not just...
So with the previous cocktail,
Right.
the lime juice was only 1/4 ounce. The rest of the 1.5 ounces was made up by
Okay.
oleo. So what we've done here is we've gone back
Back
to
to
the
the
original
original-
proportions
Okay.
of 3/4 of an ounce and 3/4 of an ounce of our sour and our sweet. But in this case, the entirety of the sweet is made up of the lime oleo.
Okay.
And 2 ounces of Probitus.
Toot sweet.
Toot sweet.
Jungle love. Oleo. Oleo.
Oleo. Oh. Oleo.
Elizabeth has a radioactive marble in her house.
Is that because of the glass that it's made from?
I have no idea.
Okay, so we're using about the same amount of ice. That's 1 scoop. It's a mixture of pebble ice and cubed ice. And here we go. We're going to lid this up. And then we're going to shake. Shaky. Roughly the same number of shakes, or the same amount of time shaking. Stick my finger in here. I think that's better. Substantially. And this goes here. I can't use that ice, so that's got to go in there. Dun dun dun. We're going to double strain this because I should probably explain why you double strain a daiquiri. So the whole point on the double straining is that you do not want there to be ice chunks in your daiquiri. There's a chunk. You don't even want those little crystals across the top that you will sometimes get if you just use a Hawthorne strainer. So as a consequence, we're using a double straining technique. It's quite common if you don't want, like I said, those little bitty teeny weeny ice chunks. If you don't want any of that crunchiness in your daiquiri, double strain it. So here we go. This is the way too sweet one, right? Where we use the oleo in a much larger proportion. It's still better than the first one, but it's a very sweet drink. This is the new one. Oh, the lime really pops on that. Oh, wow.
That's much better.
So here we have fresh lime juice. That's been set.
That is best.
This is best. Dun dun dun. Super juice.
Sorry, I didn't mean to smack you there.
That's right. The tentacle will bite you later.
Okay.
Way too sweet for her.
I liked the week old better than that.
Yep. I did too, but
So this
that goes away. Can't make up her mind. Ow! I'm gonna sneak back here real quick.
So, I don't know why I'm always describing tastes like where they are, but this one has like kind of a U-shaped taste. And the upper taste is different. So, okay.
So what are we doing?
Fresh lime is best.
Fresh lime is best. Fresh lime, equal proportions is best.
Super juice is second
Okay.
because it's a daiquiri.
Okay. All right.
This is a different drink.
Really?
Yes.
I disagree.
Okay.
I would swap those two. I like the oleo drink better than I like the super juice. This
I
is
like the oleo better, but for some reason
it doesn't ping you as a daiquiri.
not-
That's weird because it does to me. I should say the super juice has a life expectancy of about a week.
Right.
So this is pushing the super juice, right?
Absolutely.
The whole point of the super juice is that you don't have to squeeze every day,
You can
right?
squeeze every 3 days.
Right. Whereas both of these require squeezing every day,
Right.
but this one requires less squeezing than this one does. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Because it has
Nope.
the same lime
Has the
juice.
same amount of
It's
lime
just
juice.
you're using a different sweetener.
Yep. Wait, you can make daiquiris with different sweeteners?
Yeah.
That's possible?
Yeah.
You could change the profile of your daiquiri by
could.
doing that. Huh. I wonder what we could do if we just didn't use the simple syrup and we used something else as the sweetener component. I don't know what that would be. Maybe we should give that a whoa, whoa. Hey, and we're back. And great, we've got daiquiris and we're making daiquiris again. Okay, all right. We got to break out of the cycle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. How do we break out of this cycle? All right.
So maybe try changing something not a lime juice.
All right. So we want to use fresh lime juice?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That is the best.
All right. 2 ounces rum, 3/4 ounce lime juice, 3/4 ounce some other sweetener. All right. Here we go. Here's jigger. We got fresh lime juice. We're running out of the fresh lime juice. 3/4 of an ounce. Here we go. 3/4 of an ounce fresh lime juice. There you go. What's another flavor that bartenders really, really love? Bartenders love, above all things, it seems, next to Fernet, they like ginger, which is something the Star isn't particularly a fan of, but, you know, whatever. So we're going to use, what is this? This is Pure Foods bulk syrup ginger flavored. Oh, great. The last time I needed to have a ginger syrup, this is what I used. I got no complaints, so we're going to go with that. Okay, 2 ounces of your favorite rum. Insert description of blended rums, single rums, etc., etc. This is a blend of Foursquare and Hamden rums. We're going to go 2 ounces of this. Probitas, aka Veritas. We're going to shake approximately the same number or same amount of time. So there we go. Yeah, we've hit almost the montage sequence in all Groundhog Day kind of movies, right? It's like, yeah, you know the spiel. Here's a scoop. It's about the same as the other scoops. There you go. We're just trying to get a different reaction this time. Okay, this goes here, that goes there. We lit it up, we shake, or we spill all over the place. Okay, pout. That happens. So we're going to Groundhog Day this. So we need 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice. That was not intentional, believe me. 3/4 of an ounce fresh lime juice. That goes in here. And then we need 3/4 of an ounce of ginger syrup. Star, would you help me over here? Because there's ice and liquid all over the floor.
What do you need? You need the ice picked up?
I need the ice cleaned up and probably and probably some paper toweling. Here you go. That is used to soak up the sticky mess that I made. So there's that. Now we need 2 ounces of Probitas, Veritas, Hamden, Foursquare rum, la la la. Yeah, it's really good stuff. Drink this. We like both Hamden and Foursquare. Drink more of this rum.
It's available at ABC.
It is available at ABC. We've had a lot of this rum already today. Wow. I don't want to know how many ounces of rum we're actually drinking. We need a scoop. It should be about the same as the other scoops. There we go. I need a little more than that. There we go. That seems about right. That goes there. Hey, how many times have you actually seen me drop a cocktail? Not many, right? Okay, there. We're going to lid this up. I don't know how I did that. It just slipped out of my hands and broke apart. I don't know why. So I'm going to shake towards Star. So you may notice, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but when you are shaking, so you have a smaller shaker and a larger shaker, and the smaller shaker goes into the larger shaker. You're not really tapping it to put a seal on it. That's going to become because of the vacuum that's created. But when you're shaking it, if this vacuum were to break, if this seal were to break, you want the wider mouth facing you so that if in the shaking process this comes back, or if it goes forward and breaks, the liquid is coming back toward you. Now, there's no accounting for, oh, I'm holding on to the small piece and the big piece just comes off, right? That's why you're shaking down the bar, down the interior of the bar, and not at the camera or the patron.
Or the computer.
But the whole point here is of doing that is that you really, in case of an accident, you do not want to be throwing your beverage on patrons, electronics, etc. We're going to double strain
Have
this.
we mentioned lately that we love this carpet?
We do love this carpet. I need another glass. That one we'll do right there. We didn't chill it. Oh well. Tough. All right, that goes there. Yeah, once you get to a certain point in Groundhog stories, the details start to be lost, and you start to like whatever. All right, so here we go. I don't even remember what we're doing here. Oh, this is the ginger syrup, right? Oh my goodness. There we go. That goes to Star, because she's my bar back this evening, and. So this is the fresh one. What is this one? Is this the... That's the Oleo. Super juice. Mmm. Oh. The super juice is holding steady.
Uh-huh.
It's more consistent. As the fresh one is still better, but as it's dying, it's less better.
Oh, okay.
You can try that one. It's ginger. She didn't like ginger, for the most part.
That's too ginger for me.
Too ginger.
Too ginger.
Not enough Marianne.
So, this carpet is one of those don't use carpet cleaner on it. Just
Soak
get
it with
wet,
water
clean it.
and dry it up. Sop it
And,
up.
you know, we've had parties, we have a bar, we've had game nights, we've had cheese, we've had cats, we've had
cat's erp on it,
yeah,
all sorts of things, and it's fine.
yeah.
Never a problem. We've had marinara sauce spilled on it. It's a
Yeah.
red carpet, so you might not notice the marinara sauce. Is that a daiquiri? Yeah, it's a daiquiri. It's a ginger syrup daiquiri. Is that yummy? Absolutely. I might want a little more lime in that just to counteract the ginger. If you were going to go in a slightly different direction with this and wanted to not have quite as much ginger aspect, yes.
That ginger syrup sounds like regret. Spilling does in fact change the sequence.
It does, yes.
I did not do anything. The hatch just blew.
It just blew. It just blew.
So saith the Gus.
So you can also, that would be Gus Grissom, by the way, for those of you that are missing the reference. You can also take a simple daiquiri like this, and you can spruce it up by just adding a couple of splashes of some bitters, and it will change the characteristic of this. So now we're getting further and further away from the base daiquiri because we've used ginger syrup. You could have combined the ginger syrup with a simple syrup and made it less gingery, but then I've also thrown some bitters in here, and oh gosh, I don't even remember what bitters I just used. Oh, it's the El Guapo old-fashioned barrel-aged vanilla bitters. Oh, I quite like that. Oh, that's yummy. So good. So good. Of these cocktails, do you have one that should go away? Dear wife?
Not the
Not the
I
ginger.
want to keep the fresh of the super juice.
Okay.
So probably the Oleo.
So fresh and the super, and this is the Oleo.
Right.
You want to taste the Oleo again? Oleo.
Yeah, that's not my favorite.
Okay. All right. One more time into the breach we go. I need these. Okay. The other thing that can happen in these sorts of Groundhog Day stories is that your protagonist can just say, "What the heck? We're going to throw caution to the wind. We're going to we haven't been able to break out of this at all. We are going to change as many things as we possibly can and see what breaks this whole thing apart." Right?
That is an option.
That's an option. We're going with that option. This drink isn't going to look anything like a daiquiri. Nope. Because we are starting with our sweet component, which is, oh my God,
Hibiscus syrup.
hibiscus tea syrup. Because we still have some, and it is. This is the danger of making something that is shelf stable in a large quantity. So you have it
It's really good though.
forever. Yes.
So if anybody local needs some,
Yeah, if you want some hibiscus tea syrup, please just let me know. I think there's another 750 milliliter bottle still in the back room. And we're going to go 3/4 of an ounce of this because that's how much sweet component I want in this cocktail. And then we need 3/4 of an ounce of our sour component. And oh no, I don't have 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice because I didn't squeeze enough. Super juice?
Super juice!
Super juice! Super juice! Well, certainly we are not going to use the oleo because that would be way too sweet. All right, so here we go. Super juice. Ah. Here, we're going to cant a little of that back. Need 3/4 of an ounce. Hey, sue me. Don't sue me. I've had a lot of... excuse me there. I've had a lot of rum already tasting these cocktails, so try and bartend when you're sober. I think that was one of the instructions that we got, right? Was that who said that? Oh, that was ours, right? On the ours Anders.
Oh,
Anders,
yeah.
Anders,
Yes.
who said he generally likes to bartend when sober,
Right.
as opposed to. So we're going to use. No, we're not. Ha! We're going to go different. Changing everything.
It was that was on his spiced rum.
That was on his spiced rum thing. Okay, so we changed the sweet component. So we're using hibiscus tea syrup as our sweet component. We changed the sour component because it's a combination of super juice and fresh squeezed lime juice. We're changing the rum component from a blended white rum, that's the Probitas at 40%, to the Havana Club 7-year, just because I have it here.
Oh my gosh.
Should we do that?
Yep.
You want this one, or do you want a rum that's got like more oomph?
No, that one's good.
You want this
Yep.
one? Okay, all right. It's only 40%. 7% less than the Probitas. Yes? No? Here we go.
Yes.
All right, 7. All right, the 7-year Havana Club Cuban style rum. Not even Cuban style. This is Cuban rum. Goes right in there.
So Matt says tentacles. Don't forget the tentacles.
Tentacles. Don't forget the tentacles. Okay. All right.
Amanda says,
you want tentacles? We
does
can do
it
tentacles.
have to be lime for the sour? Can you use lemon?
You can.
Matt, bitter gingers. Use tequila. I understand about holding on to ingredients. Oh, I'll take some. Oh, I think Elizabeth wants some of the
the hibiscus tea syrup?
hibiscus tea syrup.
Sure. Elizabeth, you going to be in at work tomorrow? All right, so we're chilling our glass.
Matt
We've
says,
got all the
you
components here. Oh.
buzzed, home biscuit.
I be buzzing. Not be tripping. I be buzzing. All right. So as long as we are doing Cuban rum, we are going to use 1821's barrel-aged Havana and Hyde bitters, which is just amazing. Which is going to add some leathery notes to this, which is going to take this drink in a very different direction. Right? There's one. No, we're going to go with one. We're going to go with one. It's like danger, Will Robinson. The bitters could completely overpower this cocktail. We don't want that. All right, there we go. We are lidding this up. There are towels all over here. She is ready for me to spill this one too. Okay,
No,
here we go.
I cleaned it up.
Here we go. Ooh. Right, so at some point in the movie, they do a slow-mo. Oh. No, okay. There we go. Here is our, I have no idea how this is going to taste, but are you starting to see how we go from a daiquiri to these really bizarre, complicated tiki cocktails that have like 18 zillion ingredients in them? Because I can. Here we go. We are going to double strain this. Nope. Wait. Oh no! My spritzers are gone. Where
What?
are my spritzers? Oh no! They may be in the cocktail case.
I know where the cocktail piece is, but I might hit the camera.
All right, never mind. Don't worry about it. It's probably overkill anyway. We're not
Okay.
going to do it.
Okay, I won't do it.
I was going to do a spritz of absinthe in this. Ta-da! A daiquiri. Wait. That doesn't look like a daiquiri. Oh,
That does not look like a
that
daiquiri.
doesn't smell like a daiquiri. What does this taste like? That doesn't taste like a daiquiri. Star, would you tell me what you think of this cocktail?
Yes.
Look at me trying to act all cool and stuff. Hey, Star, why don't you come up here and tell me what you think of this cocktail? Whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this
I'm
one.
a little intoxicated.
You think?
Look, I have a new hat.
You have a new hat? See, she's right. It looks cute on me.
That is not a daiquiri, but that is yum.
That is damn tasty. That's a rock star cocktail right there. Yep, that is yums.
That is not a daiquiri.
That is not a daiquiri.
No.
There's no way that's a daiquiri.
Right.
That's not a daiquiri.
So that's the ginger.
Ginger.
This is the fresh.
Fresh. Well, I mean, it's an hour old at this point. It's not fresh.
It's gone.
Would you like a taste of this? Oh, hell no, I'm not letting her have a taste of this.
Well, thought you might need a glass.
Nope. Well, that's yummy. All right, dear friends. This has successfully broken the cycle. Despite the fact that we are working off of the basic same, come back here with my drink. I want at least another sip of that. Actually, notice the color resemblance, right? Huh? The owner of the red hat gets the cocktail. That's really good. That is
I get my stitches out on Tuesday.
the one dash of the Havana and Hyde bitters was perfect for that cocktail. That is yum. That is yum.
Yeah.
We're an hour and a half in. We've broken the
I
cycle
should
of the Groundhog
see
Day.
if
I hope you have enjoyed
there's
this
any comments.
repeated
I fell
trip
behind.
down making daiquiris and seeing how you can move from a daiquiri into
Matt
something.
says this one looks like the NOLA drive-through daiquiri.
Yeah, but this one is so much
Call-
better than any sort of
Call it
Nola.
Klaus Mine.
Klaus Mine? Mine Klaus?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Oh, this isn't strong enough for my taste. Here we go. There you go. Ta-da, instant rum blend. The ginger shines through on that.
I thought
What?
I heard something.
Yeah, so did I. I thought I heard something. It's probably next door.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to worry about it. This has been Lovecraft Cocktails. Playing around with daiquiris, playing around with the concept of Groundhog Day, which apparently no longer means anything about the weather, but means repeating a day over and over and over again.
Rum-based bar mat.
A rum-based bar mat. Yeah, I think these bar mats are all rum-based at this point.
Yeah.
We're going to call it quits. We will see you next weekend. As far as I know, we're still going to be broadcasting from the home bar.
Yep.
Don't know if we have
Oh,
studio...
no, we're going to be off on time. We're going to be early.
Oh, right. Have to mention this. So next week, there's an event occurring. So the final game of the NFL season is going to be played next weekend. That being, of course, the Super Bowl. And it occurs in an odd fit of scheduling, I don't know why they did this. They scheduled the Super Bowl opposite this show, right? I know how inconsiderate of them. So we are going to broadcast earlier. We have not decided exactly when and how much earlier we are going to do that. For all of you that may be considering inviting me to a Super Bowl party, that means I won't be able to attend the Super Bowl party because I've got to be here to do the broadcast beforehand. So stay tuned. We will tell you when the party is going to be.
Probably going to be sometime like 2 or 3.
Oh, you're going to go 2 or 3 in the afternoon?
So we have to figure out what time things start.
You have to figure out what time. See, that's what
It's
I
gonna
said.
be
You have to figure out what time.
afternoon.
Look, hey, the end is nigh, okay? The end is nigh for both the cocktails. The end is nigh for Star and I. The end is nigh for the football season. The end is nigh. And so we're going to shut off Lovecraft Cocktails for another week. Look for us online, and we will tell you when we are going to broadcast. It will not be at the usual time, unless the Super Bowl gets canceled or they decide to reschedule because of conflicts with this broadcast and that sort of thing. But that's probably not going to happen. So we will see you next week. We will see you earlier. And remember, the end really is nigh. Bye, all. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I have to drink while I hit the end button, right? Oh, yeah. That's how that works. Okay. Drinking the ginger, I almost called it a martini, the ginger daiquiri. Oh, by the way, if anybody ever says to you, like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do a daiquiri. We don't do frozen drinks here. Just remember 2 3/4, and tell them that, and they can make you a daiquiri. Right there. It's not that hard. Bye, all.